Off the Shelf MBT by Avalon Hill. Basic game. Just sampling a one-on-one tank duel between an M1A1 and a Soviet T-64 Bravo. So what just happened is the T-64 hit but did not penetrate the Abrams, and the Abrams fired and missed the T-64 entirely. So that is the direct fire step of the fire phase. Now we go to the movement phase, but these units don't have move orders. They each had fire orders. So there is no movement in this case. Now we'll go to the adjustment phase. So there is a pivot step. Reveal all command markers that have not been used. Vehicle units with unused. Okay, that doesn't apply here. So I guess there is no pivot step here. They both fired. Adjust turret step. Change turrets from button to open or vice versa, and pivot them as allowed. Of course. Let's just. Okay, I was wondering if the fact that they fired makes any difference, and it does not. So to change things up, let's just say that the Soviets are going to button up, and I'll leave the Americans still open. So I'm going to flip over that turret marker to its buttoned up side. That's the B there. So they're buttoned up. That side's open. Back side is buttoned up. So Soviet crew is buttoning up. Neither of them, of course, want to turn their turrets because they're already facing their opponent. Then we have adjust markers step. Handle the resolution of fires. All right, that's optional rule. Remove all temporary suppress smoke and smoke markers. Change all suppressed on and smoke on markers to the corresponding off markers. Don't have that yet. Remove all desired location markers. Oh, doesn't apply here. I don't think it applies to the basic game. And then if there are no enemy units that can be currently seen, that can currently see a combat unit, remove its spotted marker. In this case, they're still obviously both spotted to each other. Oh, or maybe now is the time. So the Soviets went buttoned up. Their ability to observe is now going to be different than it was before. Okay, so I do think I have to readjust or refigure the sighting. So no change for the American crew, but the Soviet crew is now buttoned up. Obviously, you would think that at 100 meters, 500 meters away, half a kilometer, you'd think that they would still be able to see. But we'll go through the step again. So sighting ranges chart. Conditions is day for the basic game. Type sighting unit. They went from open to buttoned. Okay, and the Abrams is in clear, and it's a vehicle, so we go 21 hexes away. So the Abrams under these conditions can still be seen 21 hexes away. That's easily within 5 hexes here. But the difference is the Soviet crew basically reduced their sighting ability by about 33%, or a third about. Went from being able to observe in Abrams in the open 30 hexes away down to 21 hexes away. All right, so I just want to finish things off here. This is the turn record track on my reference copy here. I have this laid out. Like that off the map over here, and so I moved the turn marker to the next box, and also talking about points. So we also want to figure the victory points. well, no, I should say at game's end. The basic game always goes for 10 turns. So, but let's talk about this though. Victory points. Let's talk about in the basic game. The data cards show the point value. Oh, there they are. Okay, so here are the point values up here. So T-64 75-38-19, the Abrams 100-50-25. So the data cards show the point values of the vehicle units used in the game as a series of 3 numbers. The first number is the victory point value for each unit that has been knocked out or brewed up. The second is the value for each unit that has at worst a compartment hit, and the third is the value for each unit that has only at worst a track and or main gun hit. Okay. If the Abrams had brewed up the T-64, it would have scored 75 victory points in the basic game here. So we're starting the next turn. We do initiative phase. Roll for who goes first. The Soviets win the high roll, but the Soviets are going to make the Americans go first. So on the turn record track, I'm taking that marker and I'm flipping it over to the NATO first player side. All right, so we're back to the command phase with its 2 main steps: our sighting step and our mark order step. There's no change to the sighting. We already, I guess the spotted fired markers stay on. No change. Mark order step. Now let's do something different. Announce a radio jamming. That's pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. That's optional rule. Determine command points. Wow, that's cool. Optional rule. Wow, that's enough. I got to look that up. Optional rule 21.1. Okay, just wow. Suffice it to say, there is so much good detail coming when you go beyond the basic game. Lots of good stuff to come. Lots of good stuff to come. All right, place sighting markers. That sounds interesting too. Also optional rule. Place or adjust command markers. That's what we're doing. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to have the Soviets still fire. So orient the fire command there and flip it over. And the Americans are going to use their superior capabilities compared to the T-64 to do a fire and move order. So we'll actually get some movement in and see how we do this fire and move order. So I'm flipping that over like that. Okay. Make indirect fire plots. Optional rules. All right. That is the mark order step. Now we go to the fire phase. Direct fire. So announce and resolve all direct fire by ground units with fire or fire move orders. Again, now it's NATO first. It's still simultaneous, but all right, let's look at this fire move order. Okay, so I go ahead and reveal the Abrams fire move order. So basically, as you might expect, it is going to get to fire at a seen enemy unit like the T-64, and then later in the movement phase, if it survives, I guess, if it survives, it'll get to move up to half its speed. So I can go ahead and do its fire out. I will walk through this one again. All right, so we want to. Okay, so we announced the fire. Obviously, we're going to find the AP factor. So again, I'm back to the Abrams card, weapon information, main gun. It doesn't matter for the Abrams, but the fire and move order, you can only use a gun with that. Actually, that makes sense. You're not going to be moving and firing an ATGM. Okay, so main gun. Again, I'm just going to fire APFSDS. Range is still 5 hexes. Okay, so it's still 18. And this is actually, none of this is changing. So it's 18 minus 1 for the size of the -1 for the size of the T-64. I don't think. Oh, actually now let's look at this. So trains nothing, Overwatch is nothing yet. Movement, there's still. I guess it's at the moment that you're doing fire, so non-moving. But we do need to look at this acquisition per turn +2. Let's look at that. Okay, so basically you are going to get +2 to your AP factor per turn that you hit the same target, and you will keep a note to the side if necessary. Okay, so just, it would be real obvious. You remember that the M1, well, the M1 did not hit the T-64 last turn. The T-64 hit the M1 though. Just didn't penetrate, so the T-64 is going to get this bonus. But you can just write down M1 number 101, and then the same thing for the target, the unit ID. But in this case, didn't get that because they missed the previous turn. So it is 18 again, -1 for the size of the T-64 is 80. So the Abrams rolls, they do get a 57. Oops, I moved it. They got a 57, so they got a hit. So we will determine the hit location. So we go to the target card, the T-64. We come down here. It is still front. So Abrams rolls again. They get an 85. 85 is there. 85 is HF asterisk. Treat as a missive. No, it's not hold down. So HF. Okay, obviously hold down. I mean hold front. Distinguish for hold down or not. Okay. Okay. So it is treated as HF. There's no hold down in this case. So now yeah, so then we go to the Abrams fired KE, its level, whole front is 80. Okay, so again, 80 armor. We come back to the Abrams, the penetration, 95. Okay, so did I do that right? 95, yeah. 95 penetration exceeds the 80 armor at whole front for the T-64. So we have a penetration. Now we're going to the effects. On the firing unit, I think is okay. No, I think we go back to the. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I think it is the firing unit. So now we've been using the gunnery chart here. Now we move to the right and we get vehicle damage from hit. Again, it's the APF SDS. So we use that row there, and it's a range from 1 to 100. And so we're rolling again. We get a pretty average 69 there. And so we look here. Yeah, it's oh no, it's a knockout. Okay, so we go across here. 1 to 6 would be no damage, which is pretty cool that you can have those outliers. 16 to 75 is a knockout. 76 and above would be a brew up. So we have a knockout. That means the vehicle unit is totally destroyed. Remove the vehicle unit from the map board and replace it with a non-burning wreck marker. Okay, so the T-64 is still going to be able to fire back, obviously, but it will go away and will be replaced by a non-burning wreck like that. Okay, like that. But now we'll do the. I'll go through and do the T-64's return fire. So they would reveal their fire order.